light.
It's so much better than no weed.
Yeah, that's for sure.
How?
Hi, friends. Let me give Cameron this microphone.
So, friends at home.
I'm gonna ask you your first question.
Oh, totally. I've got I could even do without questions for a minute or two. But no, ask questions, and maybe I'll remember the thing.
I'll just you don't have to touch it. I'll
Cool.
just put it right here so that it's facing you. We should have no problems.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's good. And then this one I'll move over here for us.
Hi, friends.
So, hi, friends. I'm host Eric, host of Talking with French People. And as you may or may not know, I type a lot of people. I do typing sessions for money. And a lot of times I'll type people as common types like ISTJ, ISFJ sometimes,
ISFP.
ISFP, ESFP. And a lot of times people don't want to be that type. But Cameron wasn't really exposed to, hey, Abraham Rincon's here.
Hey, it's so good to see you.
Hi, Abraham.
Hey, Abraham.
Abraham Rincon, Abraham?
Yeah.
What's up, Abraham? I'll turn my volume down.
I
I just hit like. Bam, first like.
So, anyhow, my ISTJ friend Cameron, though, we became friends before I was fully into cognitive functions, I guess. And then he didn't learn his type until I started talking to him about type. So he didn't come into typology with the misleading notion of type descriptions first.
It's very misleading.
So anyway, we are going to try to stay on topic today. I would like to have the topic be ISTJs because Cameron's definitely one of my very best friends and somebody whose presence I appreciate a great deal. He also, perfect timing, I had just run out of weed. And he came over.
And I always have weed.
And he's smoking us out,
I think I'm out of weed when I only have an
I
ounce.
forgot we were out.
Yeah.
So Rachel said she would.
I'd like to ask the first question.
Rachel said she would like to ask the first ISTJ question.
So Eric got me this really nice bong, which
Dude.
so I'm so loving it, but I'm having trouble cleaning it.
Yeah.
So, what would you recommend?
Okay. Well, it's funny you ask because I have it right here. I'm gonna have to go on camera for this one.
This is the
Here.
bong in question.
All right, so I have my weed stuff with me. I've got my funnel in a bag, so it's dirty inside the bag. Inside the bag is dirty, outside the bag it's clean. But inside this dirty ass bag, I've got a funnel I can pour bong water into a water bottle with, so I don't have to pour it anywhere. And inside of that, I've got a combination poker bong cleaner. Okay?
Okay.
It is made out of the wire coat hanger. And what we're going to do is we're going to shape it to the inner shape of your bong. Okay? And we're going to clean it live.
The inner shape.
On the internet.
Cool.
All right. So we need all right, we're going to do our dump area. Okay? Which is going to be the combination bong container,
Now,
bong water dump area.
I don't know if Cameron can TE and NE concurrently. But,
That's what I was wondering too.
But Sky Gear also asked a question here, Cameron, that says,
We need like a water bottle.
I'll get
with
you
a
one.
cap that's empty.
Here.
Perfect.
As an ISTJ, how do you feel with changing habits and routines? Is it easy or difficult or impossible or in between?
I can see how my personality may go to wanting the same routine bullshit, but I'm a successful ISTJ. So I can roll with anything. Like COVID-19, I've been making more money since COVID-19. I'm happier. Everything's great. Like I'll do a different job. I don't give a shit. I'll go do whatever it is that is my opportunity at the time. Okay, so next is
But as far as his routines go, like this thing he has here, he has his way.
Look
Okay.
how gross it looks. It looks gross, but it's gonna work great. You got basically a toilet, people.
So this is how he travels around with his bong.
Water bottle.
Okay, so a water bottle, a funnel, and a wire hanger.
specially
do have.
crafted wire hanger.
Yeah, especially crafted.
So,
Cameron, do you have a clean house?
well, the parts of my house I can control are clean, but I'm not in control of everything. So if I'm not in control of it, it's not clean. That just is what it is. If other people are around, I can't keep on top of them.
Do you have a clean mind?
Certainly not. This is isopropyl alcohol, the now only thing I can't find in the past 4 months. So
It's hard to find rubbing alcohol.
We have
COVID-19.
some, so
hey, well, I need to buy a bottle sometime soon. Anyway, you get this. You're gonna tear it like this, and I give you this piece, okay? And then you're gonna see the next fun part.
Cameron,
can
how
go
do
to
you
do
feel
this
about
the rest
mask
of your life.
laws?
About mask laws, okay, I feel this. A year ago, I spent $100 on 5 respirators called a 3M Power Flow, and now I've sold 2 of them for $350 each. That's what I think about mask laws. Keep buying my masks, but no, I'll wear them outside or whatever. I know people need to like. Does this pop out?
yeah.
That's right. Okay.
There's a little something called TI
Can I give you this?
countervalued there.
Give me this. Give me this. And you can just clean it like this, lazy style. All right. You may even take your first clean and do this.
I've done it with a toothpick.
Toothpick isn't curvy enough. So
No, it's not.
we're doing a twist.
Now,
Okay,
I wanna mention that when I cleaned out my bowl the other day because it was too clogged, I just pushed all the black stuff onto the carpet.
Fuck yeah. I'm sorry I swear too
Me
much.
too.
Sometimes I get excited. and I
You know what though? I do that too. PP yelled at me. She did. I'm not even joking you.
Oh my god.
I blew my ash into the So like I have like a little space out
Give me this for a sec.
in the shade in the bushes, like a little spot where I sit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I blew out like the ash, and
Yeah.
Kitty was like pissed. She was like
You didn't like
because it's fires.
Okay, so
Oh,
email
okay.
anthrax.
Yeah, so I was like, you're
Nice.
right.
Email anthrax has a question.
Okay.
Do you think my house is a mess?
Eric's house? Hey, people at home, this is so clean.
Compared to previous Eric's house?
I didn't say compare to Eric's, but like, this is actually
Thank
really. You can lay on the ground and clean it.
See,
Thank you.
I'm sorry, lay on the ground and sleep.
Cameron has
Oh,
been to my
thanks.
Temple City house.
Yeah.
We, I think, have been very good at it. And I actually enjoy, when I'm happy, like, I like to clean. Like, I like
Yeah,
to keep my space clean.
When I have a paper due, this means like 15 years ago or before, I like to clean. I'll be vacuuming, doing laundry, not researching journal articles
See?
and compiling.
See, that's
I don't
cool.
think Cameron knows any INTJs. I can't reference any for him to reference, so I don't know.
Will you
Yeah.
twist
I don't
that
think he's
thing
going to be able
up
to answer
into
that
a 2B
question
thing
head
again?
1/4.
So,
Like
okay,
I
so
did?
like you did.
Just like twist it into.
like this, like
The-
from here.
There's a question that says, "Did
Here, I'll-
ISTJs have a death stare?"
Only if the kid is being really bad and I can't like use corporal punishment.
Oh, the other way.
Are you good at tools? Are you good with tools?
Of course, that's all I do.
Oh my gosh, I can't even like.
My car's got more tools in it that could do anything than like your whole house and all of your families
So
combined.
this is really showing my
Yes.
TE polar because like I can't figure out how you did that.
Lengthen it out. Get it longest. Okay, now do twisty like this. Get your fingers like this. Yep.
Like that.
And then you'll just make it happen.
Ah.
Okay. You could think, oh, I'll just buy Q-tips. Nope. Not going to work. Got to do this.
Have you ever told someone
Let's get
to
having
do
hair.
something that would ruin their future, Cameron?
That's funny you asked that. Yeah, I have a few times. It's usually like I've been having a really fun, extroverted time because I've been fucked up on alcohol or like a good weed. And I'm like, let's go do this thing with our bikes. And then like they get hurt or something. Or
They
yeah,
the other people.
Yeah, not I crash all the time, but I don't really get hurt that often. I'm pretty good at not getting injured by stuff. But yeah, I've gotten people into some dumb stuff. I was called knee breaker in college due to just I was better at soccer. Okay, So we're gonna take this.
Okay.
We're gonna hold it over the stinky, gross area, and we're gonna spray a little bit of the isopropyl
that's
alcohol
nice
inside.
little-
Look, folks at home, this is how to clean your bong. You could do it. It's doable. Okay, now, here, I'm gonna use mine, and then you can use. You're just gonna stick it in and just twist it around a bit, and then throw it down the gross waste area. And you could even twist it back the other way. But the problem is if you get your finger and touch your bowl, and then your finger smells like this gross crap.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
So all my systems are so that I can never touch my finger to some
The
weed
resin?
when I can help it.
Okay.
Okay, so now here I'm gonna give you this. I'll take this so it doesn't spill.
Thanks.
Okay, so you gotta like spray some in there and then goof on it. And at the same time, folks at home, I'm gonna pour this bong water into our waste container.
Here's a good question, Cameron. How do you deal with the trainee who tries to find his own way to use tools?
Well, my trainees are chosen by me, so not a problem. In fact, I hurt my back the other day, but I've got a kid who I started tutoring when he was 12, and he's going to finish the job for me. I've got another kid who, even though my back was broken, I had showed him how to fix some stuff on his electric scooter, got his stuff going. He gave me money for like parts I didn't need. Have another kid who worked well, like just telling them how to make stuff they want to make. Whatever Annie is, cool.
Have you ever purposely ruined someone's future when they didn't take your advice? A weird question.
No, they do it themselves. They didn't buy a Toyota.
Fun cleaning
They do it themselves. They didn't buy a Toyota.
Yeah.
Why should you buy a Toyota?
Because Toyota makes the most reliable car that will last long term, unlike every other car that's really nice when it's new and up to 80 or 100,000 miles, and then it's a very bad thing.
Abraham, I got to briefly segue from the ISTJ conversation to ask you, what's going on with you?
Okay.
Are you still in America, or are you in Norway, or what?
It won't get on the phone. Can I borrow the alcohol?
Let's see what you're saying. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, folks at home. So now I'm spraying some of the alcohol inside the piece. Okay, not that much.
Doesn't take a lot.
Oh, I poured on my leg. Now I'm dirty. Ah.
What's the Toyota car you'd recommend? If you were going to recommend a specific Toyota, Cameron, what would you recommend?
Oh, the specific would be the 1987 Toyota pickup truck. It's the best. It's the best truck ever made. It's simple.
I can picture it.
They're still on the road. There's no other truck from 1987 that's on the road like those are. I've owned a lot of Toyota trucks. They're all great. I should not have gotten rid of any of them. But pretty much any Toyota is going to be cool.
Now, Scion is a Toyota car, right?
Indeed.
And I got to say, Cameron discovered all sorts of neat stuff about the Scion. He's got the Scion operating in maximal Scion mode in ways that I never did when I had the Scion. He pointed out to me that everything in the Scion lies down flat, so you could put like you could sleep in there. I never even knew that. I had that car for years.
Fold, like you could be flat all the way up to the dashboard. You could. Oh my God, people! The ISTJ's day is over. No, it's not over. I'll just. I broke my coat hanger.
Wow.
Who does that?
Yeah,
I've been using
That's
this
my question.
Maybe the bong water situation rusted the coat hanger out.
That's how filthy your bong is, Rachel. You need to keep your bong clean like mine.
Okay, so I'm bending
Okay?
it.
Like this. This is
We
what your
even
bong should
bought
look
a
like.
pipe cleaner for it, but we haven't used it yet.
Kayla,
I'm
the
bending
answer is absolutely not. It does not need to be that clean or clean
Okay,
at
so
all,
now-
frankly. I almost never even change my bong water. It's just like, this bong water is weeks old, I'm sure.
Folks at home, it's true that you don't have to do it, but you also don't have to wash your feet in the shower. And so, like, when you smoke weed, do you want to taste that beautiful weed you just paid $300 an ounce for, or do you want to taste a bunch of tar?
No, I don't like
that tastes like
I
garbage?
can't.
So I clean my bong like every time I use it. Sorry.
I like to. So I'll keep the water in it for like a day or two, but I do like to clean it because it's like a meditative process for me. I guess that's my SE seeking. It makes me happy.
Do you guys have another wire coat hanger?
Yeah,
What is
I do actually.
wire
Right here.
what is whose view of INFJs? I don't care.
Here, and I oddly have one right at hand.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, do you mind dissecting the hanger? I know that.
Oh
you
yeah,
have
I
the
can
skill.
do that. Yeah, I could do that.
Eric, you would have used wire coat hangers to fix stuff now and then, I would assume.
Do you see how helpful
not.
I am right now?
See, look, if we were to imagine two companies, one called Solutions by Cameron and the other called Solutions by Eric, there's only one of those two companies would you want to hire. Okay, one of those two companies you definitely would not want to hire. If you got hired Solutions by Eric, you'd have extension cords and duct tape all over the place. And
Running Boss, can I say I love you? You and I change our pictures about the same amount of time.
oh, you got a tarot card yesterday, Running Fox.
Yes, you did.
But when you weren't around.
Oh yes, we did I did a tarot pull with Eric where he would associate the person with the card, and you got one, and it was the Ace of Cups. Running Fox.
Cameron,
Okay,
would
so
you rather have
spray-
toes for nipples or nipples for toes?
No toe nipples. Nipple toes, then I could be having a lot of fun and no one would see because I don't always wear sandals like Eric.
Ow!
Sorry.
Oh fuck, man! You really gotta be careful.
I'm
That's
sorry.
polar FI right there.
That's polar TE.
Oh,
It's,
You got an
I don't
eye
have
shot?
polar TE, but that's
that
my
would be
fault.
polar TE.
Yeah, that was not polar FI. That would imply that I knew I was going to poke you, but didn't. I had no
I
idea.
know.
that
I
was gonna happen.
shot my.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It was totally an
It was-
accident.
It
Yikes.
wasn't as bad as it could have been.
I didn't actually poke you in the eye.
You poked me in the eye, but my eyes blinked while it was actually closed while you hit it, so it didn't.
That's good.
I was impulsive as a kid,
It's
pretty
okay.
gosh darn
It's all
impulsive. And for some reason, our parents allowed us to have bull whips, like from Mexico, my brother and I. So right now I'm just using this curved thing to go around here. So I whipped the bull whip in the living room and whipped my brother right in the face with a whip. And you know, a whip cracks because you're doing it right. It's not like you're just a little bit of whipping. It's always a for sure whip. Whipped him in the face. He could have had one less eye.
I had my hair tie or a rubber band, and I hit my friend right in the eye with a rubber band. Yeah.
I
So
also
his
threw
eye was like puffy red and
Okay, I want to talk about
Wow.
Subarus briefly. The
super-
thing about Subarus is about 85% of Subarus are driven by lesbians.
yes.
It
Yes.
is the ultimate in lesbian cars.
I learned that yesterday too.
Really?
And no, Running Fox, I haven't watched Kiki's Delivery yet. I am going to, because it looks right up my alley. Anything with a kid and a broom is pretty much up my alley.
Oh, hey, I'm going to answer the Gen Xeal. Gen Xeal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cleaning glass with metal, but I'm pushing around bits of paper with the metal.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you're right. You're partly right, but
Yes,
you're
lawnmower.
partly wrong.
It is definitely the lesbian car, and you can just you can know by imagining, right? I'm Carla, and this is my partner Stephanie. We love camping in our Subaru. We've got our dog, and I'm wearing my flannel and my jeans, and she's a little more feminine than me.
It's a hatchback.
It's a hatchback. We had to get the hatchback because of Cody, our dog, our Labrador.
Look at those canoes on the roof
And
and
it's safe
skis.
just out there.
It is. It's the safest, and it gets us into the backwoods where we like to be. We like to be with smell those trees.
Yes.
Is that going to work? Is that going to curve? And let's just see what happens.
We'll see.
Speaking of scratching glass, oh yeah, that's going to kill her.
Okay,
It's going
so
to make it happen.
What was your question about Subarus?
Does Cameron like Subarus? No,
Do you?
Cameron likes lesbians more than Subarus. that sounds like a bad thing, but like I used to go camping with my friends who happened to be lesbians, and we had a great time. They brought their dogs. They,
Okay, so
Subaru.
Email Anthrax wants to know, Cameron, why the Toyota is preferable to the Volvo, even though the Volvo is the safest car.
Because the Volvo they didn't make good quality cars during certain years. It's true that early Volvos had some owners that thought they were good and stuff, like some people in my family too, but I've also known people with 1990s, 2000 Volvos, which are as shitty as Saabs, which they're just not to be owned.
What makes them shitty? What makes a Saab shitty?
Something is going to break in your transmission, and then you're going to discover that the transmission was poorly designed. So if you spend the $4,000 to fix it, you also could spend $4,000 again.
Yeah.
And I was just hearing this guy named Scotty Kilmer. He's the new car talk guy, but he's on YouTube. He's got millions of people. He says that the Toyota is like a 30+ year car. Whereas other cars are like 10-year tops cars, if I'm saying that correctly.
Toyota was...
You can drive it for 30 years.
That's great. That's good to know.
Yeah. Okay, now I have a special twisted tool.
Ooh.
It's going to be your own tool to keep too.
Desert INTJ says, for Toyota trucks, search YouTube for Top Gear Toyota truck. They tried to destroy one. Cam, I think it's supposed to say, and it stayed running through everything.
Yeah, I watched that.
Cameron's seen that video, of course.
My YouTube video of my Toyota truck has 157,000 views. Like, why would that be? Because it's a good. People even know it's a good truck. So part of what's going on here is you have a weirdly designed Bong.
It is. I mean,
if it was straight,
for cleaning, it's odd.
So we can cap the ends and we can shake it around. Okay, and just shake it with some
like alcohol.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Cap it, and we're gonna get some. Like,
that's how I've been watching it.
Get some like rock salt or something, if you want. Like the salt can have that abrasive quality. If you want to find some.
Cameron, if you could only take 3 items, presumably to like a desert island or something, which third item would you add to your gaffer tape and WD-40?
Okay.
If you only have like 3 items in your car, let's change this question a little bit.
That's a good question.
You have to empty your car except for 3 tools or things that are usefulness in your car.
Weed, lighter, water.
Smart answer. That's a smart answer.
I'll find tools anyway. Look, this is my tool. It's a coat hanger I got for free today. I can make anything into a tool.
I tend to soak mine in. I like to soak it in warm water with soap.
That's good too. We should take this outside though, because this may be a bad project. So we're gonna take this. You can take these.
Do you mind? Is that all right?
You guys go do this.
Yeah, and then you'll
chat in here, and they'll come back to show you some results.
And,
okay.
Yeah.
Do you want it to have like an abrasive like salt, or do you want to just do it with the? We could do it just with the goop that's in there.
Yeah,
goop that's in there is cool.
It's okay.
All right.
It's going to be cleaner than it was before. So.
All right, let's take it outside because if we shake it in here, we could have some big problems.
Okay. I just want to say with Abraham, how he did say something.
He said, so then Norway government released a boyfriend-girlfriend form promoting me to book a ticket for the coming December, but a solid solution to get me to Norway has not come up. I'm sorry to hear that, Abraham.
I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure Cameron doesn't know any INTJs, or if he does, he doesn't know that they are INTJs. He doesn't. Yeah. Every time I say any type thing, he asks me like, "Well, what does that mean again?" So it's like he doesn't know if he knows INTJs or not, and I don't know all the people he knows, obviously. So, what if you get a flat? Hey, Cameron, what do you do if you get a flat tire? Do you call AAA?
No, in my car, I have multiple ways to fix a flat tire. I've got a plug. I mean, the other day, Kara's like, "Oh, there's a nail in the tire." I said, "Give me 8 minutes." I pull the nail out with my pliers. I stick the plug into the tire. I pull it out. I pull out the pump from the trunk. I pump it up. You couldn't have called AAA that fast.
No, of course not.
On my bike, though, I put slime. I take out the Schrader valve. I put slime in the tire, so when I get a flat, it doesn't go flat anyway.
See, he's smart. He takes out the Schrader valve.
Yeah. Well, you have to have a Schrader valve remover, Eric.
Yeah, first you got to get your Schrader valve remover, and then you remove your Schrader valve. Obviously, that's how you deal with bicycle tires. Oh, I mean, I love how just textbook ISTJ Cameron is, right? he
Also turning it on for you.
if ever I have a problem that I cannot fix or TE, I call him and I'm just, what's a Schrader valve? Good question. I'm pretty sure it's the kind of valve that you normally pump up tires with.
Okay. That's the way to do it that way.
Who doesn't have a Schrader valve remover? All right. Yeah, you're right, Abraham. It's a good way to put it.
I know.
It's a good way to put it.
The other problem is when it gets stuck. Like everything gets stuck.
Oh, in the yeah.
Well, you can see what I mean. Like IQ is so reductive and dumb. It's like intelligence is so contextual, right? He's so much smarter than I am about this kind of stuff, and it's why would you remove your Schrader valve? Well, because it helps prevent leaks and flats, I guess. I'm not sure why. Why don't we Google that? Let's find out. Why remove your Schrader valve? And where can I acquire a Schrader valve remover? Why remove your Schrader valve? How to remove and replace a Schrader valve. I guess you have to replace it with another Schrader valve. Can you fix a Schrader valve? It's a part within the thing that you stick the thing onto. Have you been missing a step in your bike riding enjoyment? No, you've been missing a step in your bike repair enjoyment. It's a little bit different. This fly gonna die.
So, Eric, I have
Folks
a
at home,
question
it's-
for you.
It's that clean by now, but
update status report.
but there's like crap stuck in there. I've got to.
Yeah,
break
I
apart.
think we made good progress. Eric, I have a question for you.
What?
If you had, do you know how to change a tire? Like, would you
On a
pull
car.
Chevrolet, or would you do it yourself?
I would probably try to do it myself first, if I had a spare.
Yeah, I thought
If I had a spare and a jack, I would do it myself. But I would not like it. I would struggle at it. It wouldn't be easy. I might give up partway and call AAA. That sort of thing. I currently live in Arcadia at my parents' house. I don't know. I think IQ is sort of a decent concept. With most people claiming IQ is above 130 without showing any of it, kind of makes me doubt the IQ system or the honesty of people on the net. Yeah, well, one of the two, right? So, I watched the second Harry Potter movie last night, which is better than the first one. There's no reason to. It's like your bong just gets filthy again immediately. I've got my poker here. I just poke. For what kind of intelligence, though? Like, for anything that requires some sort of solution, Cameron's way more intelligent than I am. Well, Rachel's never seen them, and it's been a long time since I've seen them. And Delilah recommended that we rewatch them because she just rewatched them. The first one was kind of like yeah. Second one was quite good, getting better. You know, I'm looking forward to the third one since Desert INTJ says it's the best one of them. And yeah. Well, because the difference is my butthole will itch if I don't wipe it, right? But my bong is not part of my body. You know, there are those people who say, you know how there's some people like rappers who say they were born with a mic in their hand? Well, even so, it's still not part of their body in their hand. First one, CGI hasn't aged well. That's true. INTJ Desert. INFP, saw your video on that. You look upset with INFP. Do they have any flaws? Me? My video on INFPs? I've got a number of videos on INFPs. Which one did you see? You should watch. I mean, I have some videos where I'm mad at a given type and then I make a video. But most of my INFP videos are not, I don't seem upset with them. You should watch INFP Nurtures Fragile Ward. This one.
Hey people. And today I'm going to be
INFP stare videos. Watch that one. You'll like that one. Hi, Cloud. Oh, Cloud's an ISTJ today, huh? Okay, so if we have any other questions for ISTJ, let me know and I'll ask Cameron those questions. I'm going to type you one day, Cloud, says emailed Anthrax. When I do, you're going to get it. What dimension are you currently in, Cloud? Not the 12th one, apparently. No one will ever see me. Ever? In the history of the world? Do I write on Quora also? I have written on Quora. I have some Quora answers written. I don't know. I think they're just asking if I wrote anything about INFPs someplace else. I like Quora. I think it's good. Where's the grim dark ISTJ edgelord? I don't think there is any grim dark ISTJ edgelord. I would be lying if I said that. He's doing it all right, you know. He's a highly competent, like, do stuff kind of person. one big difference between INTP and INFP. INFPs aren't convinced by good justifications when they disagree with the conclusion. That's one. That's one difference. INFPs have a fundamental distaste for universal rules that constrain individuals that INFPs don't have. Although they sort of share it. INFPs and INFPs can be quite similar. You know, it's like they've got a lot of meandering. Waldo asked a loaded question. Let me see. Yeah, that's a bit of a loaded question.
What is it?
Why are ISTJs all incapable of humor?
Incapable
Ask them why do dogs lick their balls.
And the answer, according to Cameron, is why do dogs lick their balls? Good point, Cameron. Waldo, there's your answer. I think the answer to that question is because they can. The answer to the first question
Have you ever seen
doesn't seem to be subject to because I can. Because you can. If I do come together, then I'd be coming illegally. And as an ISTJ, you can't possibly approve of that. You'd be coming illegally?
Excusez-moi.
ISTJ jokes or dad jokes? Yeah. STJ jokes or dad jokes? Did I tell you guys already? I think I did tell you already. I can tell you again about the hilarious joke I made the other day. Rachel said to me in the car, the last movie I saw in the theaters was 1917. And I said, wow, that was over 100 years ago. But I really enjoyed that joke. I couldn't stop laughing in the car when I said it. That's a TI joke, right? Because the thing is, the sentence as it's written, the last movie I saw in the theater was 1917. It would be grammatically incorrect to say that you're referring to a year there. You know, it's definitely the title. So that makes it a TI joke. Thank you, Waldo. I appreciate it. They're right there.
They're right.
I knew it.
To the right of you. To the right of you.
Oh, bam. Okay, cool. Yes. I like that.
I think.
It reminds me of working with Al, like a super professional.
I think that INFPs are probably more open to being judged or more accepting of judgment than most people if the judgment's a social judgment. Like you were socially awkward when you did that or something like that, they'll be very responsive to that kind of critique because it's a critique on their fifth slot. What personality is Donald Trump? He's an ESFP. He's a straight up ESFP.
Yeah, it really is.
That's a silly question.
Wow.
Let's see how we're coming along.
What do you think about this for cleaning the bowl? The stem thingy.
The stem?
The one that's not in that. Your other little, what's it called? The bowl?
No, you're not. Look.
Is it good?
Thanks, Rathor Vicky.
Oh yeah. You go like that?
Sweet.
Yeah. Custom.
Thank you.
Because you're a perceiving type as an INTJ, that means that you're actually should be with your
Perfect.
the
Cool.
dual, but
Thanks.
change the S and N to be the same as yours. So you should actually do ENFP, not
With
ESFP.
a different code you can get to
ISTJ
every
Cameron should
part.
be with
That's why this
ESFP,
is
and
like
he
the
is in fact
2-year-old
with
Bong.
ESFP. I've been with her for a while.
That's why.
For shape. We got Snoop Dogg OG last time.
Yeah.
We were from Weed Mart, right?
Yeah, do you have a nugget out left?
I do.
Why don't you share that with Cameron?
Yeah, sure.
Let him try that one.
Do you know what Thank you. Do you know what Snoop Dogg's favorite weather is?
No.
Eric, do you know?
No.
Drizzle.
Who said?
That's
Who said ISTJs can't be funny?
But
It's a great joke.
The
That
thing
is
is,
a great joke.
I guess what I was going to try to what I wanted to say earlier
Cloud,
in
But hold on, I have
Go
to
ahead.
deal with it. Cloud, that way predated by me, you ever saying it. Okay? That was a function of my failed relationship with an ISFJ, my dual. And that's why I concluded that, in fact, it's whatever you call that. That's terrible. Terribly, terribly, terribly wrong of you to try to take claim for that. You agree with me. You agreed with me. That's true. And I'm glad you agreed with me because I'm correct. It doesn't mean you came up with it. Although I will agree with this, Cloud. You came up with the best and quickest explanation of it. So when you have a good way of explaining it, you say, I forget exactly how you said it, but something like meow meow and switch the meow, you know, and like that was a very good way of saying it. But yeah, the idea predates you mentioning it. So I'm sorry, Cameron, I interrupted you to defend my honor.
No problemo. I was going to say something about kind of like getting trolled and being extra outgoing at moments intentionally, and just because I think it's sort of funny. I'm kind of jazzing it up today. Like I'm hamming it up. It's early in the day. I'm having an okay time. Like I'll ham it up for you guys, and I'll be too much of an ESTJ and be like, of course I can fix your tire in 3 seconds. Like I wouldn't say that if someone I wouldn't say it that confidently if I didn't know that's exactly what y'all want to hear. I'm actually more of a normal. I mean, I'm not that normal, but like I don't only come off as ISTJ all the time.
I would say that what this is for you right now is a relief function. So for me, when I want a relief function from being myself all the time, I take a bath or relax, go to bed, watch some familiar TV show. But doing that which is SI known, or in other words, stuff that you know about how you feel and what you know, like the normal stuff for you is the standard. So the relief for you is doing this kind of thing. It's like you probably get a sense of satisfaction like I do when I take a bath or something.
Well, in some ways it says, hey, you are an actual sort of valid human being because these set of characteristics are a real thing. Instead of like, you're just being annoying right now. Why can't we just socialize? Why do you have to play with your tools?
That's a great way to put it.
One thing that's happened to me over the years, though, I had the lucky experience of getting to be a teacher and just starting as a sub, not starting as a teacher who knew anything at all. Just like, oh, yeah, someone said I should try this. And it put me so many times in situations where I got exposed to stuff out of my comfort zone and challenged me to be a personality I never was. By this time, I've had people say any sort of insult you could ever have to me. And I truly don't, it actually makes me giggle inside a little bit that someone would be like their personality comes out as that they have to try to make me mad or see what can make me slip up. Like, it's kind of funny to me in a way, but it's not like I wouldn't be affected by it like I was if I were a kid and somebody were to insult me personally or challenge me or something. I'd get fired up and red in the face. But now, like, I've got a YouTube channel that's highly successful with 400 people on it. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
that's moderate. Honestly, for success on YouTube, that's pretty damn
It's not
good.
easy to get subscribers.
It's not. I mean, you were pulling 5,000 for like a year, a full year.
Yeah, I gained like 100 subscribers over the course of the whole last year, which is like another.
I've taken a lot of the Eric methods because you're like super successful YouTuber. Like, you grew something, you wanted to grow it, you intended to grow it, you did it, you did techniques and stuff. So I've always thought, all right, well, Eric's idea was instead of take 800 hours editing one video to be the best video, make 800 videos a day. And at some point, you just with no cuts, it's a lot easier. Just dump some video on. And I know you changed over the years, but I think the amount of videos and that I keep putting videos out that are related enough to the subject people subscribe for. I talk about scooter repair and how to make a 2-wheel drive scooter and, other mods you could do that nobody else has done. So,
well, when you think about it, really, YouTube really got its start with a lot of how-tos.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right. And in fact, to the extent that I watch videos on YouTube that are not my own videos, it's almost always how to do something.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
Okay, I got to figure out how to make this meow here. What's the last time I used YouTube to show me how to fix something? Oh, I remember. With Cameron, with the spark plugs. Remember the spark plugs in the Mini? No, they were that was on the FJ.
FJ plugs?
On the FJ.
The FJ had a catalytic converter thing. What was with the spark? You needed to do spark plugs as well?
Well, to get at the catalytic converter, you had to remove the spark plug.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Probably the little coil thing or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We looked up where they were, how to get at it. We looked at the whole system and didn't end up fixing that. But I did fix one thing one time by looking at the YouTube. Oh,
okay. Now I'm gonna
the
break
freezer. That's right. I fixed the freezer that way.
How do you do that, dude?
Well, the only thing I had to do was turn it off, let it defrost because it had gotten all frozen up.
Yeah, you had ice over.
Yeah. So
sure.
And then once it, I looked up why it did it. There's this auto thing that has this coil that defrosts it. It goes on every once in a while, but if this other part freezes up first, then the coil won't go.
Yep.
And so I just had to basically unfreeze everything. And it wasn't a hard solution.
Totally.
But I had no idea without looking it up how to do it. I would have just sort of chipped away at the ice, I guess.
I did the same thing for a friend's. If you've heard of the brand Sub-Zero, that's like thousands of dollar refrigerator, okay? And so I'm working as a handyman for a friend, and it's flashing error on the Sub-Zero fridge, which you call up Sub-Zero, and it's going to be like $1 zillion to have a guy come out. I just look up on YouTube how to reset it, what I did was I cleaned the coil. I pulled the kick plate off, and the coil was covered in dust, because they had never cleaned it ever, and it was framed in with a nailed-in plate, so you couldn't even clean the thing as you were supposed to. So I took that apart.
That's a serious design flaw there.
Yeah, that is.
And to that I owe Al Areno the credit of showing me AC repair. But in any case, I fixed that, and then you just press the power button, and it'll reset it. But hey, I didn't have to like go to a serviceman or whatever. Just like
So, folks at
YouTube.
home, keep that in mind. Let's say your fridge is causing you problems. Try removing that kick plate, cleaning that coil, stuffing it back up in there, putting that kick plate back on, resetting the system. Good chance that thing might just repair. You know, just, it might be all there is to it.
Isn't that like the INTP, like comparison to did you turn it on and off to a computer?
Right. Welcome to ISTJ Home Problem Solution Hotline. If you've got a home repair problem, seriously, if anybody out here has a home repair question,
That's good.
I would love to hear.
Oh yeah, the Snoop.
That's good.
I would love to hear your question. See if Cameron has any insight on it.
Here,
You know,
you take a rip with it too. That way we are three amigos.
awesome. So you split this with you, or
No, I have.
oh, you have one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What's the best way to clean your roof gutters?
I've never cleaned roof gutters, but I would think hire someone who doesn't mind falling and injuring themselves.
Good answer. Hire someone who doesn't mind falling and injuring themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I hire you, how do you feel about falling and injuring yourself?
Yeah.
I don't mind. It's all good to me.
Anytime you work on a ladder or above the ground at all, it is extreme. It's worse than riding a motorcycle. I know enough people who limp the rest of their life in pain, got hooked on pills because of falling off a roof or doing roofing. Don't do it. Don't ever go on the roof.
Kids, don't
How
do
do you-
roofing. It's a ghetto job.
Hire someone.
Yes, hired. That's
Any
yes.
person but you.
There's-
That's
All
it.
right. Well, let me
Yeah.
ask a question. Let's say the light in my bathroom it goes on, it stay on for a while, then it just for no reason it'll flicker off, and then it'll go on for a while. And it's not the light bulb. I've screwed the light bulb in
Screwed
all
it
the
in.
way, and it's not the light bulb.
Yeah.
What
What
do
is it?
you do?
Well, you take off the lamp and look at the wire nuts behind it that are loose, and look at the wiring that's made out of like rust or something.
Should you turn off the electricity?
I wouldn't. Are you a wuss? I mean,
Yes.
it's just like 110. It doesn't hurt. I've been burned by like 360. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't be a wuss. But yeah, you should. You could take it out and just see what's broken on the back of the lamp. Usually, if something's wrong with something, you take it apart, you look at the pieces, and which one's dangling. Fix that thing. Every single thing is fixed that way.
Should I fix it with a soldering iron?
Nope. Just the wire nut that's already there. You just need to
You don't need to
Make sure
solder
it's
that
connected.
shit. Just wrap around the wire nut.
What do you connect it with? Like tape?
Crank it down.
A wire nut is a plastic thing that has threads in it, and you stick two wires in it, and it insulates them and connects them. But if something's wrong there mechanically, like one has
Afraid.
eroded away or is coming off the back of the lamp, if it's coming off the back of the lamp, maybe it does need to be soldered. That end, yeah, but you wouldn't solder it to your house wiring. That would go against code and just a bad idea.
Does this rule apply to the human body as well? Just take it apart, look at what's dangling, and replace it?
I like what you're thinking. It depends on Eric. Is this a PG-13 audience? Am I allowed to say dumb whore?
That's good.
Okay, when do you just buy a new one? When do you not bother trying to fix it and just buy a new one?
No, get an old one.
Buy an old one.
Old what?
Don't get a new one. If you get a new one of whatever it is, for instance, Eric introduced me to a guy, Al Areno, with whom I guess Eric went to high school, but Al Areno is a little bit older than me. In any case, Al Areno told me about how they make circuit boards and new refrigerators and cooling systems. And in old refrigeration and cooling systems, what do you think the circuit boards were like? Anyone at home? First one to vote. Type it in. What were the circuit boards like in old systems?
Old.
Eric,
Old.
old Old circuit boards? Anyone at home? I'm looking.
What were they like?
They didn't exist. You didn't use circuit boards because circuit boards are stupid.
They were non-existent.
Yeah.
That was the correct
Thing?
answer.
Wasn't it like a
You know, on your computer, the green thing
Yeah,
with all the wires.
yeah, uh-huh.
That's a circuit board.
yeah? Because they used to do circuit boards for telephones.
Yeah. Do you think
circuit-
that you can have that on your roof, dangling and rattling in the
No.
heat, and go like this, and go like this, and go like this? No,
Nope.
it's gonna break within a couple of years.
So you get pre-circuit board air conditioning and heating systems. Is that the solution?
Get something that's old. Just
An
get
older
something that's
computer?
old and use it. Whatever this person asked an undifferentiated question about what should I buy, wasn't it?
Mhm.
So get something old. Don't get a new thing because new things are designed so terrible. Don't get it.
So I have a laptop, right? HP. HP is pretty good for like laptops. Like I had one in college that was a desktop, and I was really happy with it. Now they have like Windows 10 or whatever, and
Yeah.
apparently I don't have any space to upload it, and I don't have anything on my computer. I literally have nothing on my computer. I downloaded Google Chrome. That's it. Like I
How
should
many-
have the.
What year is your computer from?
It's like brand new. Yeah, I know. I don't.
I can look at it for you.
Okay.
That reminds me, other self points out that he fixed his dishwasher with a chopstick and duct tape 3 years ago, and it still works.
High five. You're like my dad.
And he says, "High five, you're like my dad." That reminds me of the actual last thing that I learned how to fix on YouTube, and it was this. This thing. Probably a lot of you had the same problem that we had.
Yeah.
That was an awesome rig.
So
And
these
your
things.
guitar. Your guitar too.
Oh, I didn't use YouTube to fix
Oh.
that. So. This thing has to go like this, right? But there's this little peg inside of it. You can't really see it. That I replaced with a toothpick. See
Yeah.
this toothpick here?
Is your coffee thing on there?
Yeah, but it's fine.
It is.
And this thing has this little peg that can totally easily come out anytime you dump out anything. And then all of a sudden, your coffee maker doesn't work
We've
anymore.
been using.
So we looked it up on
Mixologist
YouTube,
guys.
and
So it's
Oh, instead
leftover
of
water.
filter.
you
Yeah.
just put a
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
you can just put a toothpick in there.
Yep.
Did it work?
Yeah, it works.
Crazy. I never
Really?
never thought of that.
Really?
I-
That's like the
I never-
college. That's like the like the college kid ran
I
out of
never-
supplies and don't have like money.
That's cool.
Yeah, these days I
Yeah.
always
If you can do it out of
use-
ramen, anything you can build out of ramen is the college way. Everyone at my college.
Oh, please! I couldn't eat. I still can't. Like if someone like, I still can't really stomach chicken. Like what do they call it? The ramen noodle chicken style. Because my mom at the time went to Costco and she got me a huge thing because it's great. I had to fucking every day though. Every day. And had
Yeah, that's tough.
Kraft mac and cheese, but it was like the no.
In a little
it
like
was
that.
but yeah, in a little thing, and I had it all the time too. And it was like the
God.
cheap kind. It would be like in the cup with the powdered cheese. You put some water in it, and you have to get the right amount of water. Trust me, college
Oh my
living
God.
can be rough.
Doesn't
No.
INTJ, I
No.
feel you, dog. It's
I had a
ridiculous.
meal plan.
It's because they expect
You're right.
everybody to use cloud,
The meal
like on the cloud.
I
to
gained
keep
weight
your
eating
stuff.
French fries and orange juice.
I gained weight eating fried chicken and French fries too. But it was my sophomore year. Yeah, sophomore. I gained 15 pounds because my my dorms was right next to the food court. So
Oh, that's dangerous. Hey, back to the weed. Snoop Dogg. Where's this from? This weed?
Weed Mart.
yeah.
Weed Mart. Weed Mart's the one on Live Oak.
Yeah, it's on the VIP show.
So how much did you pay for it?
It's 110 for a half ounce, I
Oh.
think.
Let's
I think-
go buy some of that.
Yeah.
That's nice. Did you Got it recently, so they might
Just
still
like
have
2
it.
days ago. We burned through a lot of weed. I've been burning through a lot. This last
Me too.
bag, I burned through a lot of it.
I don't even know. I don't care.
I don't
It's
really
like,
keep track or anything, but
Oh, I offered Rachel a smoke out of my keef from the grinder. I'm gonna go get my grinder, and you can see even more of the madness of my system.
Yeah.
Folks at home,
That's actually
would you like to
great.
see
that's
more
I
that's
want
good
some
for this.
keep. I
Oh,
want some
sorry.
keep
I'm,
on
I'm
that bowl.
being on the frame. Sorry.
I'll be back.
I'm in the frame.
seriously, Cloud is an ESFP. You know, antics. That's what type he is.
I have a good question actually to ask.
And I will get to your question in 1 second. And the reason his primary reason for not being an ESFP is that he's here talking about ideas. Go ahead, Rachel.
No, I want to ask Cameron if he
Oh.
would, like that meme I showed you, if he would.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing. C.S. Joseph put out an ISTJ meme. Okay,
Mhm.
that makes no sense at all.
Nope. And it didn't match up at all. And I told Eric right away because I was like, I read it not knowing it was C.S. Joseph's thing. And I was like, that doesn't sound like ISTJ, like at all. And then I saw it was C.S. Joseph. And I asked Eric, I was like, if ISTJ was in this situation, did they do that? And Eric was like, no. And I was like, I didn't think so. And it was a C.S. Joseph thing.
So, Claude, insert where those 5 question marks are ESFP. And there you go.
I'm so scared. Oh.
Do I have a link to your mom's face? I do not think so. Do I have a link to what you? Can you tell me?
I know what FI is like, guys. I know what it's like now.
Can I get a ride? Hee hee hee. That's a very flirtatious chat to you, lawnmower.
So, Cameron, I have
Yes.
a very important question to ask you.
Yes.
If you had a refrigerator,
Just show them the picture.
oh,
Same thing?
yeah, but I don't know where if I'm gonna find
All right,
it.
then just describe it.
Okay.
If you had a refrigerator that didn't work and it was spurting out the ice, you know how sometimes that happens with the
ice
automatic ice makers? Yeah,
Yeah,
like they
yeah.
go all over like the floor, like spit out, and it goes all over the floor.
Enjoy.
Oh,
Ooh,
you.
Either side.
yeah.
thank you. Wow. Oh my gosh,
Do what
it's a
you want.
blender.
Well, yeah,
Look at
this
this.
is like
Look at all this
you
plunder
could
of
get high
teeth.
for a week off the grinder
I
alone.
can't.
Isn't that lovely?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, enjoy.
Okay, so if there was ice all over your kitchen floor, would you sweep it under the refrigerator?
No, I would not.
Thank you.
So C.S. Joseph has this meme of somebody just sweeping all the ice under the fridge, like basically sweeping it under the carpet, and said ISTJ. What?
Like you obviously
Wow.
don't know.
Do you not know anything at all about typology? Like, are you playing opposite guy or something? We need a little scooper or some kind.
It is funny to hear
an
that.
INFP might. An INFP might.
An ENTP might do that. It's like
And
I might do that. It'll melt.
That's not good quality control. That's that picture. But that's the thing. That's like somebody
Wait,
reading a
hold on.
speech and saying that 150 million Americans have COVID. You know, for you to process information like that means you're not valid. I don't mean to be, on some side of C.S. Joseph, but like you can't put out info that's that invalid and think that, well,
It's crazy.
And it
It's-
had like
it's-
230 something likes.
Hmm.
It's spreading false information,
Okay, so do you have weed in here already? No.
No.
So you need to put a little bit
Yeah.
of weed in there.
and what's
first.
funny is like
Yeah.
Here.
all in all, I would say that if I were one of the types that I guess was supposed to be the cool type. I might be more into typing, but I know my type isn't like the most awesome type. So I know that I don't expect to hear good info when I hear about an ISTJ, but
It's just biased.
to hear that though is just super silly.
You aren't a type that people tell stories of about that people want really told. Like, for example, people don't generally want to hear that they're reliable. It doesn't hurt to hear you're reliable, but like, I'm not the exciting type. I'm the reliable type. People don't want to be that for some reason. But you are so reliable, and it's so much more important than being exciting if you're not reliable.
And honestly, like I knew an ISTJ friend in college, and he dated my roommate, and everyone like loved him because he was so reliable. Like he was like, I don't know,
What's not an ISTJ
and
thing
he's
to do?
stereotypical like ISTJ too. But he's like he's cool. Like I never would have thought like it's so lame I don't like that, the biases towards like the types, because I really do feel that if you embrace like yourself, like
Lawnmowers.
you're gonna like everyone else's type too.
Lawnmower. Listen, Sky Gear's the explanation for Sky Gear's over articulations is very simple. It's not past traumas. It's INTP. If you think that over explanation is some sort of response to trauma, just look at Donald Fagen liner notes. There's an INTP writing liner notes about his own record that spends the entire back of an album doing NTP stuff. Look, when you're the best at a certain kind of fancy sword move dances, then you tend to do those kinds of sword moves. And you feel like
in that
look at
in
me.
Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Exactly. You're gonna
the last thing an ISTJ would want is mold under their fridge. Cameron, where would you prefer to have mold? Under your fridge or under your washing machine?
Wow, that's like a well-posed challenge, sir. I guess it's safer under the fridge. I mean, in some sort of a way, I'd rather have it under the fridge, because the fridge has that nice. They both sort of close off that same way. If my clothes smelled like mold versus the food that I was gonna eat was moldy, I would know, oh, I'm not gonna eat this food, and then I could be okay. But if all my clothes all of a sudden always smelled like mold, I would have to go naked, and I could always get food elsewhere.
It's a good point, Cameron.
You guys gonna be high as a mofo.
My next question for you. Is how do you get rid of shower mold?
Oh, that's a good one. You clean the shower every once in a while.
With what?
No, I've never had an issue with shower mold, but I do understand people spray it with like vinegar. But if let's say you don't have proper ventilation, okay, here it is. Let's back up from shower mold. Let's go to construction. Are you in a poorly ventilated space? Did you hang things a certain way where there's no ventilation in your shower? You probably did all that stuff. So you need to ventilate your bathroom. And you can clean this mold off, but if you don't correct the problem, let's say water's leaking into the wall above it and it's moldy because of that and not because of your shower. Let's say your upstairs tenant flooded her bathroom, which happened to me, and then my bathroom got ruined. You clean it off if it's there, but there's always a problem leading to that. I mean, you could live in the wrong part of the world. You could be in Singapore where you're going to have mold because it's always going to be a humid.
Look, this really reminds me of the TE associated with recording music. There are different stages. There's the recording phase, there's the editing phase, the mixing phase, and the mastering phase. And you say, well, how do you fix problem in the mixing phase? Well, there's an answer to that, but the ideal answer is you don't mess it up in the recording or editing phase in the first place, right? So it's like the fewer mistakes you make earlier on, the fewer things you have to deal with later on, right? If you're trying to fix an EQing problem in mastering, then you didn't do a very good job in the mixing editing phase where you should have managed those EQing issues. So that's what Cameron's saying here is if you really got a mold problem in your bathroom and you didn't do a very good job in the space design aspect of things, which would have prevented that in the first place.
Mold only grows where invited.
It does sound like an amazing analogy for life, irrational skeptic.
Mold bothers me.
I hate that stuff.
So I don't mind cleaning.
My brother moved into a place in England in Leeds where there was mold, and then he got sick. And once you're already like sick from the mold, but it's because it's the climate.
Yeah, you're right.
There's all wet all the time.
It is.
It's not designed
Even
good.
their outside of their houses have like mold.
It's
and stuff
bad,
on it.
you know.
Yeah.
You just should live here, right here. This is a nice place.
It's lovely here. Are you kidding? Yeah.
I'm serious.
I know.
I always lived. I grew up in Alhambra, which is 7 miles over, and moved to Arcadia, and I've always been kind of around here. And the truth is, I had to teach like a science lesson to kids in 3rd grade. It was time for kids, and it said, "Here's the thing about weather and climates," and it showed this map of our area right here, and it showed colors on the whole globe, and it showed our color as like a nice green color. And that meant the climate doesn't suck like everywhere else. Like you go, and not to say anything bad about back east, but like, how are you going to go through snow?
Are you kidding?
What are you going to do? How do you?
We have shutdowns.
Exactly. We don't even have that. I would hear about like my girlfriend's family back east in New Jersey, like they can't do stuff for days in a row, and I'm like, I don't even have food for a few days because there's always Southern California is a lovely climate. You don't need to leave anywhere. My parents came from far away to meet here and stay because it's a nice spot.
It's lovely here.
Yeah,
honestly.
You can have the beach, you can have the snow, you can have the desert, you can have anything you want within a couple of hours.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful here. It really is. I love it. I've always wanted, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to come to California. I had like a soul calling. But like, obviously New York, but I'm pro New York. You can ask me anything about it. The only place that I've never been to is the Buffalo area, so I can't say anything about that. I don't know.
Okay.
That was too far for me.
Okay, let me ask you this. If I feel claustrophobic amongst a bunch of tall buildings and a lot of density of people,
Okay.
where should I go in New York?
Social Park.
Social Park?
Central
Oh,
Park.
Central. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Central
go to Central
Okay.
Park.
I gotcha. I guess I love this area because there's so many different outdoor areas that I could go to.
Oh.
So many different mountain ranges, so many
Oh, but
trails, so
see-
many things.
But see, you're just thinking city.
Yes.
See, you could go to the Appalachian Mountains in New York. Yeah. It's not upstate New York is totally different
I haven't
from the island of
been.
Manhattan. Island of Manhattan is within its own thing, honestly.
Arbitrary, Ethan, is a distinction that we afford two rules. Some rules are arbitrary and some are not. And basically, whether or not a rule validates
not using
for
my fingers at all. How
everybody,
about that?
or whether it just validates for a single
Bam.
person,
That
is
is-
what drives the distinction between
It drives me crazy to smell my fingers.
arbitrary and
Yeah.
non-arbitrary.
Please.
So, for example, this
There we go.
justification is non-arbitrary. It has a warrant. You might say unwarranted and arbitrary are the same thing. So some rules are warranted. That means they're non-arbitrary. Other rules are unwarranted and therefore arbitrary. Your rule there that rules are all arbitrary is unwarranted and therefore arbitrary.
I'm sorry that I didn't get to another year.
I didn't ask for one.
Hey, I've got a topic changer, but it's sort of within y'all wheelhouse.
Mm.
You know Voltaire? Did you guys ever watch Voltaire on Spanish TV? He's the psychic guy. Oh man. All right.
Voltaire?
There's a guy named Walter, but I'm saying it as his name is pronounced Voltaire.
Voltaire.
Voltaire. He had a
Voltaire.
special. Well, there was a special about this guy on Netflix. He passed recently, and he was like the biggest psychic ever. For basically the. I'm gonna sound bad saying this. How do you say it? The South American audience.
Walter, the Mexican psychic. That's how you say
Spanish-speaking
it.
audience.
That's like not a bad.
It's the biggest dude ever. He is the biggest dude ever, and Kara and I watched the Netflix special on him. Walter Mercado, it is. And I tell you, I cried. Look at this guy. I cried so much through that thing. I tell you, you guys would love it since you're
I would
into
love
psychic
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. You're gonna be crying even though you don't know the guy. You are.
Okay, let's do
It's really
no.
This is a guy?
I'll resign from. I know.
No
he's
judging
so
there.
feminine.
Voltaire is Voltaire, and he's a wonderful man.
I don't think it's. I think it's too many. Yeah, it's too many things. I tried to show you the Google search. The Google search for. Just do it yourself. Google search. Walter the Mexican psychic.
Mercado.
Walter the Mexican psychic images, and you will see quite a character here. He's like the
Does he have
Liberace of
Yeah.
Mexican psychics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
He is great though.
Really?
He's great.
I can't
He's
wait.
fabulous.
I'm so excited.
He died. I mean, he's no more, but he brought joy to millions. Yeah.
A psychic told me that I do have, like, I think everyone has intuition. But anyway, I
Well,
was told
you
by a
told-
psychic that I like have psychic whatever. But
What type though? Does that mean you can read what someone's
well,
thoughts,
she's
or
like
that
you have a
know
symbol.
about them?
She just says like you. I was like 6. She was like you. This is what she told me. This is what I remember. 3 things from this one. She was like, you have a psychic mark on your finger, so you'll be able to use that. That's like it's very specific mark. And I was like, oh, cool. And then she says you're gonna have 2 kids. I'm like, and then I was like, why? Because like when I was little, I grew up in a big family, so I wanted a big family. I didn't realize like anything about it.
So it seemed like not enough kids.
Yeah.
I see.
And then
Yeah.
she also said my pinky ring was very short, so I was going to have a lot of trouble with money. So I should stretch it and massage it so that it gets longer. But I was not like you and nodding, saying yes. I was like, kind of like you. It seemed mean to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I don't want to massage my finger to make it longer. Like
That's a weird thing to tell a 6-year-old, even if like it's what you believe to be. Well, I don't know. If you really believe it to be true, then you ought to tell the 6-year-old in one way or another. But
true.
I hear how
Yeah,
a 6-year-old
like,
would take it if
yeah.
you weren't exposed through other people's good and
Exactly.
bad stories previously for a while.
Yeah, right.
Heretofore.
Exactly.
I like to use words like heretofore if I ever can.
Okay,
Well-
so listen to this. Walter Mercado never did seem entirely of this earth. The legendary Puerto Rican astrologer, whose daily horoscope predictions spellbound 120 million viewers a day across the globe for 30 years, instead seemed to hail from the stars, whose movements and whims he claimed to decode. His image was as strange as it was unforgettable. For 15 minutes, he materialized on television, dyed, blonde hair, blown back with grandmotherly flair, sermonizing in one of an endless array of jeweler sequin or rhinestone-encrusted capes, like an ethereal 70s disco-bound space boat. He was the first gender non-conforming man many Latinos saw on TV. Among a certain set, he was revered like a living messiah. He delivered our fortunes with unwavering brio and positivity, always with the same affectionate sign-off. Pero sobre todo, mucho, mucho, mucho amor. He was a trip.
I can't. I want to see it now.
Oh,
Can we watch
it's
it?
fab.
I want to see it, yeah,
Love it.
for sure.
Mucho, mucho amor.
Part of the investigation of why Mercado disappeared.
Ah.
Let's see what actually happened to him. Dude, I want to look at the Wikipedia article. I trust
Yeah.
Wikipedia more than most things. He died in 2019.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's see. Death.
I like his cape.
Um,
Someone said that every woman should have a cape. Where, yeah.
he died from kidney failure on November 2nd, 2019. He was 87.
Can they feel her?
Mhm.
Wow. I mean, that's a nice full life, in my opinion.
You can see how fabulous he was. And
He looks
so
fabulous.
He really, in that community, despite there still being just as many gay people born gay, because that's how biology works, he's someone who just at least allowed there to be some
He says he
super fab guy out there to exist. So they're like, all right, there's at least someone
That's an
like me.
important, that
Yeah.
is an important thing to have in your culture.
He defined himself as androgynous and insists that the primary relationship of his life is with his fans. He also joked about being a virgin into his 80s. Huh. What a weird
And he
guy.
was from Puerto Rico. That's so cool. Puerto Rico is beautiful. I have had the privilege of going there with my family on vacation, and it actually is a lovely island.
Would you say that Puerto Rico is the land of grapefruit flavor? Because you know they grow a lot of grapefruits in Puerto Rico.
Do they really?
Oh, see.
See, I didn't know that. No,
I
I
see.
didn't know that. No.
We must have shown her our Puerto Rico before.
I don't think I've ever shown her that.
No.
Actually. Let me bust
You
out.
haven't
See if
seen
I
our
can
Puerto
find.
Rico video?
No, what?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I have no idea.
Eric,
I
the
don't think
folks
I
at
have.
home are not going to understand the top quality that me and you can produce.
Okay,
Jeepers.
this
Oh.
is quite an important video.
When
Yeah,
I went to
big
Puerto
time.
Rico, all they were talking about was
I will share the.
It has been foretold.
here.
cool. It's so funny. So fucking funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I have no
It's
idea.
good.
And
All right, here we go. I'm gonna play the land of grapefruit flavor.
Yes.
Mm.
What year is that?
Grapefruit. If
15?
you're like me and you love real grapefruit flavor, come to Puerto Rico, the land where grapefruit was born. That's what they call it. Oh, excuse me, no, senor. That is not what they call Puerto Rico. I'm sorry, who are you? I am a native of Puerto Rico. And I am here to tell the people the truth about my beautiful land. You mean that it's the land of grapefruit flavor? No, senor. Puerto Rico is not the land of grapefruit flavor. Okay?
okay.
The land of many things. We have a saying in Puerto Rico. If you want to love a woman, come to Puerto Rico.
Oh my god.
We should have left that
so
map on
great.
for longer.
Why would-
Can you
why
pause to
would
the
that
map,
be a
Eric?
thing?
Can we see the map? I want her to quality
It'll probably
control
come
that map.
back.
Okay.
In Puerto Rico. Because it's true. Like Puerto Rico itself. Okay, well, why would your old saying be in English? All of the Puerto Rican old sayings are in English. Only our newer sayings we've studied them in Spanish. Puerto Rico. Rico. But without the shortcut. See, that's what you're going to find here. Where? Where are you referring to?
Quality control.
Right here.
And where is right here?
Oh, you know, it's right here. You know, listen to me, escúchame. Puerto Rico.
pretty good,
Oh
huh?
my god, that's great.
This is how I learned to be a
I'm
good
so glad
YouTuber.
I've been to Puerto Rico. I had no idea. Wait, is it really a grapefruit area? Is it?
Look, what happened is one
No.
morning I was eating a grapefruit. I noted that it was from Puerto Rico, and I freestyled that thing right there into an audio thing. And then I said, "Hey, Cameron, do you want to make pictures for it?"
That's so cool. It was great.
Hey, the map was really fun. I remember discussing the map and like, what's the dumbest but not too insulting thing we can do? Is this okay to do, Eric? He's like, of course we can.
That's
Yeah,
a
because
funny
like
idea.
it makes me feel like that's Puerto Rico. I don't know. It just
A
like
naked
it
lady
went-
island.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah, I like went along with it. I mean,
Okay, I've got to go get more cigarettes.
you've been out.
Have you guys eaten or gonna eat or want to eat or anything? What's your
We haven't
food
eaten.
We haven't
situation?
eaten.
What would you do?
I might make hot dogs. You want to eat hot dogs?
Sure.
I can cook some
Cool.
hot dogs.
Yeah, hot
But-
dogs.
But first things first, I've got to go get cigarettes.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we wrap this up?
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Thanks
See ya,
for being
folks.
here.
Late.